Okay, so I'm going to do a quick tutorial on how to share your draft project file to your group members, okay? So these critiques are posted as a discussion format, okay? So if you go into here, you will see the description on how to do your assignment. Please read through that. Make sure you review what the grading rubric is, okay? So you get 10 points for posting your project to the discussion group, and then 10 points for your critique of your peers, okay? So the first thing you need to do with your file is make sure you have it saved, which I do. Save, okay, I'll shut it down. And then you need to put your file that you just saved into your drive, right? So I'm going to go in here to my Google Drive. I've got my Photoshop folder here. I'm going to find my file, which is right here, my Justin Project 1, which is my, my draft file. I haven't started the colorization yet. You may be further or not that far. Either way is just fine, as long as you're posting your project. I'm just going to drag it in and wait for it to upload to my online drive here. Move this, you see what's going on. Just waiting for my file to upload. It says less than a minute left. The school internet here can be somewhat slow. Okay, while I'm waiting for that, let's just review here. So, one, you want to post your work, and then two, you want to respond to your group members with useful critique. What is useful critique? Well, useful critique is giving reasons for why you do or do not like something. Okay, usually they should be have something to do with the spec requirements of the project, or have something to do with design. I give a good little link here on some good design information that if you're looking for ideas on what to critique. Okay, so my file is uploaded now. It's right here. So I'm just going to go ahead and select my file, and you can go to this little link right here. It says Get Shareable Link. If you're working in a different cloud service, it will probably be something else. You may be able to right-click on your file. You might be able to choose something else. But basically, it's the same process. You want to take this file and make it shareable to other people using a specific URL. So you get this Get Shareable Link. And it tells me that link sharing is turned on, that anyone with the link can see this file. And that's the way we want it. Okay? So I will copy this file. I press Command-C. It told me that it copied it already, but I'm just going to do it to make sure. And then I'll go into the discussion and just go to reply. Okay? Just press reply right at the very top underneath my description. Okay? And you go in and you say, here's my draft project 1 file. I chose this image. You can tell us a little bit about why you chose your image, where you're going out with your project, etc. So I'll just put real quick, I chose this image because I thought the dog was interesting. I plan to replace the background and then colorize my image. And if there is anything specific that you want feedback on, you can go ahead and say so. Please give me some specific feedback on how well I corrected the dog's fur. Okay, the dog had a lot of scratches on it. So I'm hoping for some feedback on that. Okay, and then to share your file, you can just paste your link right there. You could do it like that, and that's perfectly fine. Or if you want to give it a description, Justin's Project 1, you can just type that description in, select that text, and then click this link right here. That link image will bring up a window, okay, and then I can paste my Google Drive URL in there. And what that does is it just embeds the link in the text for that I just typed, okay? Okay, so I have my description in there. I have a link to my file. I'm going to go ahead and post my reply. Okay, and then I can see it. So this is what the other students will see when they come to this page. Okay, they'll be able to click the link that you provided, and it will open that file in Google Drive or whatever service they shared it with. Now, this is telling me I cannot preview the file, but what I can do is download it. Okay, and it's telling me that's a large file size so that Google can't scan it for viruses. That's fine. Just go ahead and download it. We trust our classmates here. I'm just going to tell it to go ahead and open it right in Photoshop. And this file might take a little while. It's 43 megabytes, so we'll go back to discussing the assignment a little bit while that's downloading. So if you click on this link, what you'll see is a basic description of things that are elements of design. So line, shape, color palette, texture, typography, form. Okay, unity, gestalts, space, hierarchy, etc. Okay, so if you're reviewing my project and you're trying to figure out what to critique, well, one, I gave a very specific item that I would like some feedback on, okay? So that's one way of giving good critique. In addition to that, I could look at some of these things and think about, okay, line, shapes, color palette, texture. So obviously I haven't started using color yet, so there's nothing to critique on the color. But as far as the texture, you could say something like, the texture of the foreground and the background don't seem to match. So, you mentioned that you were looking to add a different background in. I think that would be a good idea. Try to find something that matches the texture of the rug, or something that feels like it fits in the picture, okay? If I'm talking about how good I did my corrections, one thing I didn't like about my corrections is the jacket feels a little bit muddy. So there doesn't seem to be much contrast in the jacket. Okay, so see, contrast is something there. The jacket seems to be lacking in contrast. Maybe you could look at adjusting that to make it feel more realistic. Okay, that's valuable critique. Don't just say, well, I kind of like the dog, he's cute, that's going to be a fun picture. No, that's not good critique. Okay, you can say the dog is a good idea, it adds some visual interest to the image and adds some hierarchy because he's so large. Okay, think about design elements and basic design when you're doing your critiques. Okay, so let's check on the status of this download. It looks like it has downloaded. Okay, and so then from there you would just find your download and open it up, and this will be one of your classmates' images, and you will give them critique by finding their post after you've downloaded and looked at their file. Don't forget, you can also look at stuff like how they've organized their file. Did they organize stuff into layers in a useful manner? Did they name their layers? Did they make groups and stuff like that too? Okay, so file organization is another thing that is open for critique because it is important. Okay, but going back to the critique, when you want to respond to one of your fellow classmates' critiques, and you only have 2 people in your group, this shouldn't be too hard to do. Just press on reply and think about those things we talked about for critiquing their images, and go ahead and type out your critique. Okay, and that way you will earn full points for the project. You get 10 points for posting your file by the deadline. Okay, and keep in mind the due date for this is to post your work. Okay, and then you have 3 days after the due date that's linked to the assignment. See, this says it's due May 29th, which is right. You need to post your work by May 29th, but you have until what would be 3 days later, the Wednesday following. Let's see, if I look here, May 29th is a Sunday. You have until Wednesday the 1st to actually reply with critiques. Okay? So that's the basics of how to post your projects for critique by your peers. If anyone has any questions, just shoot me a message or get a hold of me through Canvas or what have you. Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to keep working on this project here, my project 1 image. Last stream I basically did all the corrections on the boy's jacket, pants, the skirt, and there were some scratches on the dog's fur that I corrected. So I'm going to keep on working on this. I think I'm done with corrections because I plan to replace the background. And so normally what we want to do when we're replacing backgrounds is do the background first and then think about colorizing, because if I find a black and white background to go with this, I want to keep the feel of the colorization all together. Then if I do find a color background, what I want to do is try to match the quality of that color in the foreground image, and that's so that the image feels like it's put together as it should be. Okay, so let's think about what do we want, where do we want to place this boy and his dog. I'm kind of reminded a little bit for some reason when seeing a young boy like this of the Jungle Book. I recently watched Jungle Book 3D, the CGI one. It was pretty cool visually. A good story, and it was, what else did it show? There was another one very similar that it showed in a preview, also another Disney one that they're planning to do in CGI, and it was another like kid trapped in the wilderness. It reminded me so much of the original one, but now I can't think of what movie they were previewing there. But let me adjust this here. You can see what I'm working on. But yeah, I forget what that was. But so, like, what if this kid were stuck in like the Amazon or the jungle with his... Actually, no. You know what? This reminds me of an awesome cartoon. I'm going to date myself here with this. There's this cartoon called, and it was actually anime, now that I think about it. If you guys know Nickelodeon, I think Nickelodeon used to be called Pinwheel when it first came out. Is that right? Or maybe Pinwheel was a show. Okay, Pinwheel was a show on Nickelodeon. But when Nickelodeon first came out, I remember when we first got cable, this was a long time ago in the 80s, Nickelodeon came out, and there was this one cartoon, and it was called Belle and Sebastian. You guys probably know Belle and Sebastian as a band right now, but before the band, there was an anime, and the anime was Belle and Sebastian. And Sebastian was a boy who lost his mother, and Belle was his dog. Um, okay, so obviously when I go to Belle and Sebastian here, it shows me the Swedish pop group. But if I click on this, you'll notice that there's this Belle and Sebastian, a novel by Cecil Aubrey and a boy named Sebastian and his dog Belle. Okay, so there was a French and Japanese TV series, and they actually, I forget if it was the French or the English one, that they actually brought to America and put like on TV and gave it captions. And I used to watch it. I used to love this anime. I really liked it. So, seeing this dog or this boy and his dog, the boy lost his mother if he's Sebastian, and the dog is actually a Great Pyrenees mountain dog. Let's see what Pyrenees mountain dogs look like. They're all white. So this dog obviously is not a Pyrenees mountain dog, but it is quite large, as a Pyrenees mountain dog is. So let's see. Okay, so obviously the Scottish indie pop band Belle and Sebastian took their name from this TV series. Cool. Maybe I'll have to listen to them sometime since I like the TV series so much. But let's see. Let's see if I can find some Swedish images of the Swedish French Alps, right? I guess it wouldn't be the Swedish Alps, it's the French Alps. So let me look. You know what I like is there are the Library of Congress has a great collection of free-to-use public domain images. So I'm just going to go Library of Congress public domain images. I'm just going to do a search for that and see what's in there. I think I remember seeing some so this is it, loc.gov, Library of Congress.gov/pictures. Okay, and I'm just going to search for French Alps. Oh yeah. Okay, and so there are 10 results here. Let me view these in a gallery. And I'm going to try to find maybe there are some. Okay, some of these are not available for digital download, but plenty of them are available digitally. Let's see here. Views of Switzerland. This is a group of images. Okay. Okay, Pyrenees Alps. Getting closer. Oh, there's 37 pages of results in this group. So hopefully I can find something in here that's fitting. I think I want to place my Sebastian and Belle is the dog, in the Swiss Alps if I can find a fitting image here. Okay, some of these are quite far back landscapes. Maybe hard. I need to find one with a good foreground that isn't too distant. Okay, so to place him in this image, I would have to shrink the size of him down so much, and if you guys remember from the lecture, we should not be trying to do that if at all possible. Let's look through here. Can I make these? A slider would be nice. Is the slider going to work? I'm going to enable JavaScript. This is a better overview. Too far away. Too far away. Let's see. Nope. Man, whoever did this photography did not want to capture any foreground images, huh? Nothing in the foreground. Nope. So I'm just putting Pandora on for myself in my other window here. There we go. You guys don't have to listen to it. Okay, so back to, man, I just need, what's this one? I don't know, this one might fit. Let's see, let me just go back. I'll open that in a new window. I might be able to use it. But most of these, like, they're just lacking in having any kind of foreground to place my subjects in. What's this one? Okay, these themselves look like colorized images. This color does not look very accurate. What I'm guessing is these were black and white photos that they colorized. I don't know, this one might work. Let me just open that guy in a new window. Yeah, see, if I were to place him in here, he would have to be this size to look realistic. That's too small. Too small. 700 images in this collection, so hopefully I can find something, right? Again, this photographer just did not include foregrounds in his images. This could be one. This could be one. I'll open that in a new window. There's another picture of dogs. That might be interesting to look at. Hey, are these actual Pyrenees mountain dogs? Because they look a lot like that dog. I thought they were all white. No, maybe not all white. Looks like some can have some brown. Great Pyrenees. Yeah, I mean all the images here show them as white, but sure does look a lot like this dog. He's way too brown though, huh? Yeah. Okay. Well, regardless, it's interesting. These images have like an interesting quality to their color. It's like definitely hand painted color, but it feels almost like a painting, the way it's done. It's really interesting. I really like that. I'm hoping to capture that quality in my, ooh, what's this? In my, when I add my people into the image. So, like, I really like this image. This could be cool, but like, I would still have to significantly shrink. Maybe I could crop into this. Maybe I could crop into it to place my subjects inside of there. So I'll keep that one in mind too. Just trying to make some options here. Another little ice structure. I don't know what I'll put on Pandora. Belle and Sebastian radio, huh? Let's see. Is there such a thing? Apparently there is. Let's see how I like this. Okay. Okay, and I'm at the end here. Ooh, could put them indoors. Eh. This one could work too. The foreground is somewhat ambiguous. Because, okay, so let's see, I've got this. I'm kind of trying to think of another somewhat ambiguous foreground in this one. Like I'm trying to think of the feel of the cartoon that I remember when I was a kid, and definitely wasn't that. This is like the closest to what the cartoon was all about. They were always in the mountains. It was cold, snowy everywhere. But this image is like lacking in foreground. This is too sunny. They're in the snowy mountains. See, they were never down in low land like this. We're up in the mountains. That one could work. This one could work, but I'd like to see more snow-capped mountains in the background. And what was this one? Yeah. Always in like very rugged, snowy terrain that I remember anyhow. It may have nothing to do with the actual show, but like the funnest parts of the show were when they were like in rugged terrain and dangerous situations. Let's see, could this one work? I don't know. Ooh, that's like kind of nice framing, isn't it? Some really nice images. Like very unique color. Making me want to visit Switzerland. For sure. Zurich. Okay, I'm gonna, like, let's see, this one, or this one. I'm gonna try to use this. That's nice, but doesn't capture like the snowiness. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and download all three of these. And notice there's like 30 megabyte TIFFs. So